So I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was so hard for me, and I don't even know why.
You've been thinking about this for forever.
Since the second movie. Like, I've been a Spider-Man fan since I was 2 years old, and that was like 1995. No Way Home has really thrown me off. So with not having No Way Home at all, and just following like Amazing Spider-Man still continuing, I want the same suit. It's my favorite suit that's ever been on screen. I don't want Mary Jane. I want them to continue with Black Cat because she was already introduced in the second movie. The villain, I was thinking about this morning. I want this movie to be a psychological thriller. I had two villain options. One of them was Kraven the Hunter, who I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite villains, I think, in the Spider-Man Rogue Gallery. But I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a villain that is family tied to Kraven the Hunter, and his name is the Chameleon.
Yeah. Oh,
Chameleon is Kraven's half brother.
Considered him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think I'm gonna leave Kraven out of this one because he's gonna be part of the Sinister Six. We could really play with Chameleon's powers because in the old cartoon he had like a switch. It was like a tech thing where he can like transform and make himself look like other people. But then there's like, we've seen the lizard in the first movie, so we know changing is possible. So what if that's in his like DNA where he's taken a serum where he can actually morph like Mystique?
Right.
And that would really fit this universe where they've embraced this whole genetic mutation sort of thing. That would be perfect.
And Chameleon, to bring back Spider-Man 2, the ending of Spider-Man, the guy with the top hat, he is going to be Chameleon.
He's Chameleon, and he's been infiltrating this whole thing.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I love it.
He's been posing as somebody that Harry and his dad think that they know, and he's took this guy out of the picture a long time ago, and he's just been pretending to be. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was all piecing together this morning, boys. And so he's Chameleon. Should we give Chameleon the ability to know Peter as Spider-Man?
He could have been a spy that was working with his dad when his dad
parents,
was doing
right?
all this research.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's because they were doing all sorts of espionage, research, spy stuff.
Yeah.
And he was actually undercover pretending to be someone that he knew. And this whole time he was this guy trying to steal secrets and bring them back to his country. I think that could really work.
And then I think we should have him know Peter is Spider-Man. He can morph into Gwen and like make Peter think he's
psychological. Yeah.
And
give him those flashbacks.
Yeah. And he can morph into all the villains, making them think like they broke out of prison or something. Like give Peter a real emotional journey in this movie. Whereas Chameleon's not a physical, he's not going to beat him hand to hand. There's no way.
No.
But he's just going to break him down mentally because Peter is already at the point where he's already had to overcome the loss of the love of his life. And he's still processing returning to be Spider-Man. Like, how does he still balance that act? But now all of a sudden he's seeing Gwen everywhere. Like he's being like Chameleon's spying on him.
His parents too.
Yeah. Like the deleted scene in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And his dad comes back. That
could be canon, but it's not really his dad. It's Chameleon. And then it ends up that later in when his dad comes back again, he starts like antagonizing him. And he's like, what are you doing, Dad? You're supposed to be like, and then it turns out that this is just another take he's having to try and psychologically torture.
What if we open the movie with that scene?
It's already.
Like we open it with like him defeating the Rhino, whatever. Sure. And then like him going to Gwen's grave to tell her like he's able to,
he's finally,
he's talking to her like he's processed. And then all of a sudden his dad shows up. We get the scene from the Spider-Man 2. That way there's more drama with Chameleon knowing all these secrets about him. And like, that's when we get him going to the prison to see Dr. Kirk Connors. Harry knows he's Peter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where he finds.
And then, so Harry's the one in charge.
He could have maybe just been trying to get after Peter himself to get his dad's secrets. And now he learns the fact that he's Spider-Man from Harry, and that just changes everything.
Yeah. And then Harry's the one behind everything, but Chameleon's the one doing all the dirty work on the outside. So it's like Harry's the kingpin. Like he's like the one in the background he's like the Doc Ock, say, of this universe. I know Doc Ock's, they teased it in the second one, but we're going to build our Sinister maybe a little bit differently. So Harry's the one who's kind of morphing everything together, but Chameleon's going to be the one to really break Peter down so that when they finally break out in the fourth movie to take him out, he's at his weakest. I feel like we start off with maybe the villains, and then throughout the movie we get more personal with the transformations, right? We see Gwen, and then like towards the end, what really brings the Chameleon out, he impersonates Spider-Man. Like he does in all the cartoons and Spectacular. He does it amazingly. He really starts to think about everything he's gone through in this whole movie. And then we could tie into the whole No Way Home thing where he was not pulling his punches. And like Chameleon was messing with him so much that he had to, for the first time, take out a villain.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you guys like where I'm going with this?
I really like it. I thought I had a good story, and I like yours way better.
How insane would we be to not even show Chameleon until the end of the movie?
Yes, that was my.
I mean,
I was just going to bring that up.
We think it's Peter's dad, right? Everything.
Yep.
And then Peter's like doing his usual, like to say he's working for the Bugle or whatever, walking around New York. So we do it in like a Riddler sort of way in the Batman, because he doesn't actually ever fight the Riddler.
Right.
No.
Right. He fights the Riddler's plans. So if we do it like that, and then at the very end of the movie, when he confronts Spider-Man, he doesn't.
We could even show all these scenes we're talking about,
and then have
we could
cycle
show him
all
practicing his lines, but it's like a flashback leading up to these are the things that I've done to stop you, and like you stand no chance.
Right, and then when Peter finally sees him, he does all the transformations in like a matter of 10 seconds, and Peter's just like, "What's happening?" And he's like, "And then I
am your torment."
Yeah, I mentally broke you.
How do you think we should break Spider-Man down?
So what if Peter's father is a prominent role rather than just having him, Chameleon jump in and out of certain characters? What if, because we've already set it up in the second movie that Peter doesn't know anything about his father, right? That was the whole reason for the second movie storyline, is to learn something about his father. So if this movie, we introduce him in that graveyard scene, we take it from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, ask him, where have you been? Like all my life, like, where were you? Like he had to run away, whatever.
All he has to do is look like him and know up to 20 years ago history, and the rest doesn't even have to fake it. Like,
right. And if he was a spy with, this whole time with Peter's parents, like
he'll have a good background.
My angle is that Peter, it's going to be a building relationship with him and his father, but Chameleon is just going to feed him a bunch of lies
and set him up for failure, making him think that
he's
like his father is not a hero, right? He's what the news reports said he was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's trying to
problem
change all these feelings he's felt his whole life about his dad, but they're lies.
Because by the end of the movie, when Peter confronts Spider-Man, and then the Chameleon starts doing all the changes, he ends on his father.
It's his dad, and it's like, what?
Right? Yeah. And so he's already
that's
like
even better than any of the other ideas.
And Peter's just like, at this point, he's broken. Like everything he's learned this whole movie is a lie. Like, who's real? Is Black Cat even real? Him seeing Gwen, it's more than just him thinking it's a hallucination. It's like, because he'll see Gwen in the transformation, right? He's like, he's broken me down completely. Maybe he'll even see Harry.
I was going to say, he could switch to Harry, and then, or earlier in the movie, he could pretend to be Harry and try and reach out to Peter and like apologize or like do something that try and makes Peter feel like he was the bad guy. Be like, listen, like, I'm sorry that this is how things went. I regret Gwen's death beyond belief, but you have to understand how you forced me in a corner. You refused the one thing that could possibly give me a real life. And this is your fault. I don't want it. And then just like, even if that's something Harry really would have said, to find out that it came from Chameleon too is just
even more powerful.
Because the Chameleon, he's shifty. So he can, like, he in the Spectacular Spider-Man, he's all about the tech, right? He has the Tinkerer working with him.
Yeah.
On top of him being like a mystique power, he can build sets, so like he can fake footage. Chameleon is such a great mind-bending villain, right? It could really break him down even more to the point where he just doesn't know what to believe anymore, right? He's a hero without any hope.
He doesn't know where to go to trust somebody to help him. Aunt May's still alive, right?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
But he could kill her. Or maybe not so dark. But
that's so nuts.
Like,
no, I mean, we've had it before.
His dad comes back. Aunt May knows something is off because she knew who he was before. And you could kind of see like he's like doing like being mentoring Peter, and then he's just a total jerk to her off camera, like as you leave, and she keeps, and so then she is then like gaslighting Peter, saying, Peter, I don't know how to tell you, but you can't trust your father. Something is off. And he's like, no, you're just trying to push me away. You're jealous that I have this relationship now. And they end up
because Aunt May knows things Peter doesn't. Aunt May has been around Richard and Mary forever.
For years. Yes. Yeah. They were literally family. So so then that creates a rift between him and her.
I don't think we kill Aunt May because that's the only thing he has left.
Exactly. And I
they
feel
have
like
too good of a relationship. relationship.
Yeah, but we need that tension between the two of them because his father's back in the picture. He's learning things. Well, he thinks he's learning valuable things. And then as it's going, he's like a very different person to her. And then finally they have a confrontation about it. And
maybe he like kidnaps her and impersonates her for a part of the movie.
What if the chameleon, to make it matters worse, like what if we see the reveal and before Peter could even do anything, he gives him the speech like, you've already lost, and like he kills him, like does something and kills himself. So Peter can't even
help
process
what happened.
Take out his
as
processing.
Soon as he's found out all of this, because now he has this trauma that he hasn't even got to express. He finds out all of this stuff that breaks him, and he doesn't even get the satisfaction of taking out Chameleon for it. Chameleon sacrifices himself to bring in Kraven.
Yeah, and then the fourth movie, he's rage. He's dealing with the fact that everything he just learned is a lie. The symbiote comes into play, but then he knows Harry, like the whole plan, all the people are out and they're after him. He gets beat first, and then he gets the symbiote.
It starts off with him fighting the Sinister Six and losing, and then the Six go into like hiding or start playing. So they can't just be running amok the whole movie, but he has to get beat and then can't find them. And that's when he runs into Black Cat, and that's when the symbiote gets involved.
At the Oscorp facility.
Yep. He's trying to find, he knows it's Harry. He's trying to find where could they be hiding? Where are they getting their powers? And they just are both breaking into the same place. Yeah.
It's like in the 90s cartoon when the episode Return of the Green Goblin. And Peter knows it can't be Norman Osborn, but he knows it's Harry. So when he's trying to find Harry, he's like, I know your addresses. I know everywhere you've been. I know your father's lair. I know where you go. It's like, you can't run from me. So it's like he's searching all these different places Harry could be because he already knows who the goblin is. So
he's not trying to find out who it is. He's just trying to catch him. Yeah.
And then maybe not even like Black Cat, like trying to steal it. Like he comes across it and it calls to him because it feels like it does in Spectacular when Brock goes to touch it.
Yeah. It just pulls him. But like Black Cat doesn't need to be trying to steal this. She could be trying to steal something else that happens to be at the same place. And it's an accident that he ends up getting the symbiote on him.
We do like Spectacular, like you said, where he's unconscious.
I really, really want to do that, where he starts the fight off, and then you see that shift where it's like the symbiote takes over, and I mean business. Like he's no longer talking; he's just all like, yeah. And actually, with the symbiote suit, then we could get the Tom Holland eyes where they move without having to adjust his suit because the symbiote is actually showing its own emotion.
Yeah. Yes.
So that can make up for the fact that he's not talking.
Because we could play it like he has the symbiote suit on. But the first time we see him fight, he's still looking like the costume, right? Like in Spectacular, and morphs into a different costume.
Yep.
And he wakes up, and then he's fighting the Sinister Six, say they have him, whatever. Our first instinct is what you said, like his eyes move, right? Okay, clearly, and then the symbiote does the tendrils.
And I really want to have the tendril attacks, like in Web of Shadows, where you have all the symbiote attacks going everywhere. And he would need that when he's fighting 6 people by himself. So that's how we can take them out. Yeah.
We don't lose the symbiote at the end of this movie because you can't put that in the Sinister Six movie too, right? That's so much, too much. So if you do that at the beginning of the 5th movie, and then have Venom show up in the middle, and then just wreak havoc and torment him, and then they have a final blow, do the whole symbiote saga where it's he's dealing with the black suit, and Venom is just a recreation of his emotions,
his darkest desires. Yeah. And because he takes over Eddie is powerless to stop the symbiote becoming this dark mirror.
Okay, so I think that's how we play out these 3 movies. A brand new trilogy.
Yeah.
Sony, call us up.
We're here. We're ready.
I don't know why it didn't take anybody with brains to write the next movie.
Takes a couple little tidbits here, and before you know it,
you got a full whiteboard.
Give us a check, Sony.
You got a full whiteboard. Yeah. So if you guys got any final thoughts,
we'd love to hear them.
No, you. Do you have any final thoughts?
I thought you were talking about...
We'd also love to hear your thoughts
in the comments. Tell us in the comments. But I want to, before we close it out, we have final thoughts before, we let the audience who watch tell us what they think.
Please, Andrew Garfield, be the werewolf again.
I think he would come back.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that point, he loved it so much, and they just did him dirty. So, my final thoughts, it was great seeing Andrew in No Way Home. He's my favorite Spider-Man. But I really wanted him to have his final movie. So I loved us coming on here, really bringing him a movie that I know he would want to make. because he's such a great actor. He loves diving deep into character.
And he's such a big fan, too.
Yeah, he's such a massive fan. And I feel like giving him scripts that he can really dive into. Studio involvement, I'm firing them all.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who messed up number 2. We didn't talk about the director, but
yeah,
you know, I think Mark Webb could easily.
I think he could. Yeah, no, he didn't do anything that he shouldn't have. He could definitely.
He had great vision, and I think he could. Him and Andrew had a great relationship. I think he worked well with the actors. So with that, I want everybody who's watching comment below. Tell us what you think of our 3 films. If you want to see this movie, tell us your ideas for a third movie. Yeah. If you have something totally different,
give us your casting. We want to see who you want to put as these.
And thank you all for watching. Until next time, I'm Brian.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Nick. And this is 2 Hours on a Sunday.
We'll catch you guys later.
Whip, whip.